As the result of a dream, in uncaring and unflagging hard work, property owners of Harris County voted yes in 2 bond elections to signify their support of the vision of Judge Roy Hoffheinz to finance the building of a new structure unequaled anywhere in the history of man. A long-term lease by the Houston Sports Association with Harris County will repay the total cost of bonds and interest over the lease's duration. In the very first year of operation, the revenue brought into Houston's economy was more than the total cost of this spectacular project. After initial delays, work was begun in earnest. With barely 2 years for contractors to make delivery of this dramatic prototype stadium, coordination between architects, engineers, contractors, and suppliers transformed the massive excavation off South Main Street in Houston into a scene of vibrant life. This is the crown block, a virtual keystone at the very center of the dome, which will support the thousands of tons of thrust exerted on it from all directions by the entire dome roof structure. Primary radiating members are bolted to the 12 facets of the crown block as it rests high in the air, 208 feet above the final playing field surface. The first lamella section is placed, a curved steel roof support, 120 feet long. These structural members are the result of infinite research and painstaking fabrication, engineered to form a network of massive strength to bridge the self-supporting 640-foot clear span of the dome. With rapid progression, the umbrella built from the center outward atop the tall steel towers reflects the form of the ultimate completed dome. Placement of the final lamella section signifies a long-awaited moment in construction, calling for a celebration by Harris County and the Houston Sports Association officials, as well as the 800 workers employed at the peak of construction. Supporting jacks atop the towers were removed, allowing the structure to stand alone. Towers were cut into pieces and removed from the site for scrap steel. Total deflection of the roof after jacks were removed was only 3 1/16 inches. Sand fill placed around the outer retaining wall puts the space-saving anchor cables to work, eliminating inside buttresses ordinarily used. Rigid roof deck panels give the dome an appearance of solidity and substance. Placement now begins of the 4,976 aluminum framed skylight panels of clear lucite. Each of the skylights is over 7 feet long and more than 3 feet wide, with clear lucite on top, domed over and separated by dead air space from a lower prismatic embossed panel below. As panels were delivered atop the giant dome, they were placed in the design pattern to allow rapid runoff of water which can fall from torrential rains on the 9 1/2 acres of roof. A long-awaited answer for the architects and designers, with but one roof segment uncovered by skylights, perfect diffusion and spread of light bathes the playing field and stands in shadowless natural light of high intensity. Curved tracks below ground level allow the 2 movable field stand sections to revolve, thus converting the seating arrangement from baseball to football modes for the best possible viewing of each sport. "80-foot-long, one-piece aluminum panels are hoisted to form the east wall of the stadium. They are placed only on days without high winds to prevent them from sailing away across the prairie. Scaffolding reaching clear to the top holds workmen at each level to simultaneously attach the panel in place on the framework with pop rivet guns. And the view from the top. The old temporary stadium is in the foreground. Next, the South Main skyline, the medical center, and Houston's downtown skyline is in the background. The crown skylight panels are self-cleaning from natural rainfall. A view from the crown block at the center inside, and a look downward to the playing field, 208 feet below. The light and sound gondola, 64 feet in diameter, is yet to be hoisted up to the center of the dome. Now comes the tremendous job of installing the more than 45,000 luxuriously upholstered and comfortable opera-type seats. 10 lively colors were used in various sections to aid patrons in easily locating their seating levels. An intensely complex job in itself is that of attaching proper seat numbers to avoid confusion and to provide a logical seating pattern. The Astrodome, the luxury dome, totally controlled environment in the space-age concept to accommodate patrons in absolute comfort without a single view-obstructing column. The Astrodome, truly the eighth wonder of the world's first and only air-conditioned dome stadium, and the massive Astro Hall, even larger and without difficulty and with complete personal convenience and comfort. This crowd of more than 50,000 attending a Houston Astros baseball game in the world's largest air-conditioned room is but one example of the reason more than 4 million persons annually attend all kinds of events and visitor tours in the Astrodome. Back to Houston for the start of a new season. Behold the Astrodome, home of the Houston Astros, the most complete and magnificent sports palace ever conceived by man, and built with but one thought in mind: utmost comfort and enjoyment for the fans. Located just 7 miles from the heart of Houston, easily accessible, and with parking for 30,000 cars, the Astrodome is the ultimate answer to Houston's variable weather, either summer or winter. Our lovely spacettes, carefully trained for courtesy and helpfulness to you, the fan. Advance ticket sales for baseball and other events in the Astrodome are handled quickly and courteously at this conveniently located sales office, with plenty of easy parking space right at the door. Early arrivals enter on gently sloping ramps at the 3rd level of seating, fans, and help seat them quickly before game time. At the very top, the exclusive skyboxes, a place for relaxation and entertainment. Individually decorated suites with built-in closed-circuit TV, bar facilities, and private restrooms. This is really some kind of baseball. The first opening night, celebrated with bands, pep squad girls, a speech of dedication by the governor, and the voices of thousands raised in the national anthem. Official opening night guests, the President and Mrs. Johnson, in the private box of Astros owner Judge Roy Hoffheinz. Standing room only, a frequent sight. Judge Hoffheinz visits with the astronauts on the field before a season opening and in the dugouts. 21 balls thrown out by the nation's first 21 astronauts. Where else could they all be brought together except in the Astrodome? What a way to start a ball game. As Judge Hoffheinz action with something utterly unknown to before now. Absolute comfort, perfect lighting, a close-up view, a real feel of the game's excitement. And another innovation, electronic cheerleading, led from the $2 million scoreboard through this fantastic control console. A wholly new dimension of the sport for the fans. Uh-oh, trouble at the mound. The visitors just can't cope with his hometown spirit and play. This pitcher's on his way out. And again, the 40 by 50 foot television screen in the center of the scoreboard comes to life, to the absolute delight of the fans. It's the Earthmen's turn at the field now to ready it for the balance of the game. The only grounds crew in baseball to get cheers from the fans, with happy spectators. A solid hit. Players advance. Runs score, but wait, there seems to be some question. A powerful blow, and another run scores. And the ball's still going. It is. It's a home run. This is the Astrodome, the attraction of unsurpassed entertainment in the world's largest completely air-conditioned and most flexible stadium, designed with your comfort, safety, and enjoyment in mind. A reality, the culmination of a daring dream. The Astrodome, truly the eighth wonder of the world.
From either side of that center screen were two message boards that kept fans abreast of lineups, scores elsewhere in baseball, plus promotions and advertisements. But the highlight of this show was then, and always has been, the Home Run Spectacular. More than half an acre of computer sequence lights, 14,000 of them in all. From behind the huge board high above center field, you can see hundreds of thousands of tiny openings in the face of the display, necessary to prevent echo and improve acoustics in the building. The elaborate system was unlike any other, and fans flocked from all over the world to see the 45-second-long spectacular, controlled by a huge console on the press level behind home plate. Any Astro home run signaled the start of the 4-act show. It begins with the long ball busting through the dome roof and spanning the length of the board. That was followed by a pair of gunslingers at each end. Serenaded by the eyes of Texas, Judge Hoffines didn't want anyone to forget where they were. A bull sporting Texas and American flags got fired up while a cowboy galloped across the outfield to rope his steer. And finally, a cluster of rocket-like fireworks went off to finish the display. Baseball ambassador Satchel Paige was amazed, exclaiming, "This place is something else." Don Drysdale called the show fascinating.